Live from
live
SEMA,
now.
and I'm
Now
sitting in my director's chair in the
Wow.
Braun Brushes
Whatever.
booth. So, Rod, go get me some coffee and
No.
something to drink.
Not doing
I
it.
get you, sir.
Not doing it.
So we are in the Braun booth with Max. I'm sorry, I forgot your last name, Cheney, right?
Cheney, yep.
Yeah. So, if you don't know, Braun Brush is like a family legacy business. They're just not a family business. You're a legacy business, right?
We are, yeah.
So let's talk about that a little bit.
Cool, yeah. So my name is Max Cheney. We are Braun Brush Company. We are celebrating 149 years this year.
149 years. That is actually 1 year less than Jody's age. So he's coming up on Jody's birthday, 152.
Well, and I'm actually standing, gosh, I'm actually standing in front of your family. So why don't we talk about your family real quick?
Yeah, well,
So-
turn the torque, get the shot in there.
There we go.
see it?
There we go. You can see it.
Just enough of it. So this guy right here in the white apron is Emmanuel Braun. He founded Braun Brush Company in 1875. He was an immigrant from Germany.
1875.
1875.
That's great.
yeah.
That's so cool.
That is awesome.
And the guy to his right, or I guess his left in the image, on the right of the image, is Albert Braun, is his son. It's my great-grandfather. And, yeah. I don't know.
That is just,
That's that.
I don't know.
That's
To me,
awesome. That
to
is
me it's just
awesome.
so cool, right? To have, I mean, because we often talk about family owned, but this is family
This is
legacy
like,
owned, right?
been
And
out
I
there
mean, we even
forever,
have
so.
Dad here, and it's super
Right.
fun. You know,
So let's
let's talk about some of your cool stuff.
Yeah, let's talk about some of the brushes because everybody's heard of the wheel woolies, but you guys have multiple configurations of that for every different type of scenario, including this little guy. This is awesome. That like fits down inside it. And
That
just
looks like
weaves
a
around
cattail.
and-
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
that's like the wheel worm that goes everywhere. So then you got other types of things like you got horsehairs and nylons. Horsehairs and those are specifically very, very good for leather. They don't damage the materials, where a nylon would be a little rougher. But they've got everything. They got a mohawk. They got a horsehair mohawk right here that you can get. You know, I'm going to get them to make a wig out of that.
That's
Horsehair
pretty
mohawk
good.
wig. But you guys have so many different products and so many different things. One of the things I want to highlight, I'm going to step out of the way here, is they were actually asked by NASA. Is that
Yep.
right?
Well,
NASA
yep.
said to produce a brush. And I've got a picture of this. We're going to post it later. But this is a brush on the Mars Rover that was produced by Braun. That is unbelievable.
So the robot's using the brush,
Yes.
or what? To explain the application there.
Yeah, so in the early 2000s, when the twin robots went up, they were looking for water, and on the end of the arm was what was called the rock abrasion tool, RAT, and it basically had a router bit, like a drill bit on it. And our brush was just a little tough stainless steel fiber that's knocking the dust off of the edge of the hole, so the cameras and sensors should get like an accurate reading of the bottom of the hole.
Oh wow, that's cool.
So they've got a brush on Mars.
Yeah, we have space junk. You know?
So deal
Yeah,
with that.
space junk. That's
The-
cool.
The other one is like some of these brushes here. One of the original things they did was that they created an aluminum brush for polishing aircraft. It's been in there since the 60s for Grumman to polish the rivets on those airplanes. So aviation industry, automotive industry, Mars Rover. I'm pretty sure they're the only ones in this building that have been on the Mars Rover.
So I want to see the distributor on Mars. Is it a little green man with the big head?
Yeah.
That's, hey, I got some Braun brushes for you.
He's
Very specialized.
he's got that mohawk and he's like the plutonium 498. That's the guy. That's actually
Leo
the
up the
Braun
building.
distributor on Mars. So
That's awesome.
that
So-
is fantastic. So Braun brushes, they're different fibers, they're different configurations. This one's actually on a drill. This one's really cool because that one can get inside of all these little holes and crevices and wheels. Tire brushes. So we often think about the tools of the trade with a polisher or a mechanics. It's your wrenches. But these are those tools that you really, when you have a configuration that's designed for that particular application, it makes your job so much easier. So,
Yeah.
you got interior brushes, detail brushes, things that can get down in the nooks and the crannies, things that are safe for the surfaces on the interior and exterior.
So is there anything new you guys have this year, or just
We have
variations of the existing?
Mostly variations, but so, I mean, the one thing that's new this year is this is a variation that uses boar's hair. So this is horsehair, which was the traditional leather and upholstery brush that we use. Boar's hair is an interesting fiber. I think we might have talked about this last year, but to refresh your memory, it's naturally tapered like human hair. So at the base or the root, it's thicker, and at the end, it has split ends, so it's really soft. What that means is that it has body, so when it gets wet, it doesn't get floppy, but it's still safe for use on paint.
Oh, nice.
What's interesting is to take advantage of those properties, you have to set it all in the same direction. You can't bend it in half and push it in a hole like most brushes are made.
Right.
So most traditional brushes that have boar's hair, each individual tuft of fiber is set by hand into those holes.
Oh, wow.
So they're very labor intensive, which is why sometimes they're a little bit more expensive. The new brush we have this year uses boar's hair, but it bends it in half. So you also get that stiffer root, which gives it a little bit more stiffness than a horsehair brush, while still being safe for use on leather.
And that's why my
awesome.
mohawk's going to be made out of boar's hair, because it's tough and soft like me.
I don't even want it. We're not at the Angel Wax booth anymore. So
yeah,
anyway,
but the thing is that something that has that kind of legacy, and that you guys put in the scientific research and testing behind the materials. We don't have to think about it. The detailer doesn't have to think about it. You go to the experts and you're like, this is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for something that's safe on paint. I'm looking for something that's safe on leather. I want it to last. I don't want it to fall apart after one use and have the bristles coming all over the place. And you can do that. You guys are the ones doing that work, so we don't have to. I mean, no knock on some of these big companies that you can order, stuff from, but they're not the best.
They're not
materials.
the Braun quality,
so,
babe.
Go quality, spend the money on the tools, because that's why you're demanding the prices you're demanding, and you should, but you've got to use professional tools in that situation.
Well, thank you so much, Max. I mean, any last thing you want to share with us, or
no? That was fun. Thanks for coming.
It was super fun. Love hearing about the family legacy and
the aviation
out
stuff
on
is crazy.
It's awesome.
So yeah, come on down.
If you're watching this and you haven't come to SEMA yet, and you're planning on coming, please come to the Braun Brush booth. They are in the West Hall. They are at booth 42206. They just come down there like one aisle over, and you'll be able to connect with Max and his great team and his dad. And we will check you guys in a little bit.
Yeah. And to check out the Mars Rover. It's the only one you're going to see here.